Welcome to the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Enjoy the listening. The King's Ultimatum. The sky above Earth darkened as the Tyrak Dominion's fleet appeared in orbit, blotting out the sun. Their ships were enormous, monolithic structures that shimmered with dark metal, bristling with weapons. They hung there like vultures, silent and foreboding, a stark reminder of the vastness and hostility of the galaxy beyond Earth's fragile atmosphere. Panic spread across the planet as billions looked to the heavens in terror, their screens filled with live footage of the alien armada. From one of the largest ships came the transmission. Every communication device on Earth crackled with static before the image resolved. The Tyrak King, his reptilian face, framed by sharp scales and cold, glowing yellow eyes, filled the screens. His voice, guttural and harsh, reverberated like thunder. "Humans of Earth," he began, his tone dripping with disdain. "I am Veilthar, sovereign of the Tyrak Dominion. Your time has come." The king's piercing gaze swept across the council chambers of Earth's leaders, who had gathered in a secure facility. The image flickered briefly to show the extent of the Dominion's power. Scenes of enslaved alien races laboring under Tyrak overlords, broken cities on distant worlds, and the remnants of fleets that had dared to oppose them. For centuries, the Tyrak Dominion has brought order to chaos. Veilthar continued, his words methodical and icy. "Weak species are given purpose. Disorder is crushed beneath our might. You are no exception. Surrender your planet and all colonies immediately. Pledge yourselves to my rule or be annihilated." The ultimatum sent a chill through the room. The Earth's leaders, politicians, generals, and scientists, exchanged nervous glances. The weight of Veilthar's words was undeniable, punctuated by the silent threat of the massive fleet looming above. "This is not a negotiation," Veilthar growled, his gaze narrowing. "You have one planetary rotation to submit. Resist, and your cities will burn. Your people will serve. Your history will end." The transmission cut off, leaving an oppressive silence in its wake. The emergency council erupted into debate. Some argued for surrender, believing survival under tyranny preferable to extinction. Others, their voices filled with defiance, pointed to humanity's history. Countless examples of resilience, ingenuity, and triumph against impossible odds. They reminded the Council of humanity's fierce adaptability, born from their harsh death world home. Meanwhile, analysts dissected the Tyrak King's demeanor. His arrogance was clear. He saw humanity as a primitive, inconsequential species. Earth's position on the galactic fringes had kept them isolated and underestimated. Veilthar assumed that humans lacked the strength or unity to resist. In a unanimous decision, humanity's leaders sent their response: "We will not bow. Earth will never surrender." When the king received the message, a cruel smile spread across his face. He relayed his final words: "So be it. Prepare for extinction." The countdown began. Humanity's hidden strength. The Tyrak fleet did not delay. Within hours of the ultimatum's expiration, their first wave of attacks descended upon Earth. Gigantic warships hovered above major cities, unleashing surgical strikes that targeted Earth's orbital defenses, power grids, and communications infrastructure. The night sky lit up with fire as human satellites and space stations were reduced to debris, raining down in fiery streaks. On the ground, explosions leveled skyscrapers, bridges, and factories. Humanity's vulnerability was evident in those first moments. Entire cities were plunged into darkness. Civilians ran for shelter as Tyrak shock troops deployed in key regions, their towering forms clad in gleaming armor and wielding energy weapons far beyond anything Earth's militaries had seen. For a brief moment, it seemed the Tyrak King's confidence was justified. But then, humanity began to adapt. The first resistance. Even as the first attacks unfolded, engineers, scientists, and military strategists were already countering the Tyrak's initial strategies. Makeshift command centers sprang up in hidden bunkers, and Earth's militaries re-established secure communication lines using outdated yet reliable technologies like shortwave radios. The lack of reliance on centralized systems, a hallmark of humanity's chaotic ingenuity, became a key advantage. Civilians pitched in too. Makeshift barricades appeared in urban war zones, and volunteers coordinated evacuation efforts and medical aid. The human spirit, forged in the crucible of countless wars and natural disasters, refused to break. The first Tyrak ground deployments met unexpected resistance. While their technology was superior, they lacked understanding of Earth's diverse environments, humanity's deaf world origins. On the ground, the Tyrak soldiers found themselves unprepared for Earth's natural defenses. In the Amazon rainforest, a scouting unit became the first casualty of the planet itself. As the soldiers moved through the dense jungle, their advanced sensors proved unreliable in the chaotic, humid environment. They soon encountered one of Earth's most fearsome defenders, a swarm of bullet ants. Despite their advanced armor, the Tyrak soldiers fell victim to the insects' relentless attacks. The ants, drawn by the soldiers' unfamiliar chemical signatures, swarmed over them, biting through gaps in their armor and releasing venom that caused unbearable pain and eventual paralysis. The entire unit was wiped out, their equipment later scavenged by human resistance fighters. Across the globe, similar incidents unfolded. Desert conditions caused Tyrak machinery to overheat. Frigid tundras froze their gear solid. Microbes, harmless to humans but deadly to alien physiology, spread like wildfire among Tyrak ranks. Earth's reputation as a death world became an undeniable truth, with its environment itself fighting back. Unconventional warfare. In space, humanity also began to strike back. Though Earth's fleets were technologically inferior, they were fast, adaptable, and cunning. Using asteroid fields as cover, human pilots lured Tyrak ships into ambushes, where they were bombarded with makeshift kinetic weapons, repurposed mining equipment, and debris launched at devastating speeds. On the ground, resistance forces embraced guerrilla tactics. Hidden bases were established in mountains, forests, and urban ruins. Cyber attacks disrupted Tyrak supply lines, feeding false data into their systems and turning their own drones against them. Entire Tyrak convoys vanished into cleverly constructed kill zones, where human soldiers used primitive but effective traps to cripple their forces. The Tyrak, accustomed to crushing disorganized resistance, struggled to counter humanity's chaotic, decentralized approach. For every city they captured, they lost dozens of soldiers and significant resources. Earth's defenders turned the war into a battle of attrition, a war the Tyrak were unprepared to fight. Turning point. Amid the chaos, Earth's intelligence networks worked tirelessly to uncover the Tyrak fleet's command structure. Encrypted messages intercepted by human hackers revealed a critical piece of information. The Tyrak king, Vaelthar, was not merely directing the invasion from orbit. He commanded his forces from a secret station deep within Tyrak space, relying on his presence to inspire fear and loyalty among his troops. This revelation presented an opportunity too valuable to ignore. Humanity's leaders devised a bold, high-risk plan, a strike at the heart of the Tyrak dominion. If the king could be captured or eliminated, it might destabilize the entire invasion force. The operation would require an elite team of human operatives to infiltrate Tyrak space, bypass their formidable defenses, and strike directly at the king's hidden stronghold. The mission was audacious and dangerous, but with Earth's survival on the line, there was no choice. Humanity prepared to gamble everything on this final, desperate act of defiance. As the Tyrak forces intensified their assaults, humanity held the line, biding their time and preparing for the decisive blow. Their ingenuity, resilience, and ferocity had turned what seemed like certain defeat into a fight for survival, and soon, for victory. The king's downfall. The infiltration of the Tyrak homeworld, Tyrakrath, began under the cover of darkness, its crimson skies swirling with storm clouds lit by the occasional streak of energy from planetary defenses. The human special forces team, A mix of Earth's best soldiers, engineers, and hackers had spent weeks training for this moment. They arrived aboard a stolen Tyrak transport, their craft outfitted with stolen codes and camouflage to slip past the Dominion's vast network of planetary sensors. Landing undetected on the edge of the sprawling capital, a city of jagged towers and suffocating fumes, the team moved with precision. Every step of their plan relied on human ingenuity. Using hacked Dominion systems, they manipulated patrol routes and created false alarms to draw attention away from their infiltration path. Equipped with modified Tyrak tech, they blended seamlessly into the alien world, their advanced stealth suits reflecting the surrounding environment like a chameleon. The tension was palpable as they navigated the city. The streets were teeming with Tyrak soldiers and automated drones, their alien designs casting eerie silhouettes against the flickering red lights. Every step forward felt like a gamble. In one particularly close call, a malfunction in their stolen security codes forced a soldier to improvise, using a jerry-rigged EMP device to disable a checkpoint. Finally, the team reached the heart of the city. The Tyrak King's Palace, an enormous spire of black metal stretching into the blood-red sky. Protected by layers of shields and guards, the palace seemed impenetrable, but humanity had planned for this. Using explosive charges made from scavenged Tyrak materials, the team created a breach in the palace's outer defenses and slipped inside. The capture, the inner sanctum of the Tyrak King, was a stark contrast to the cold, militaristic exterior. It was a chamber of opulence, its walls adorned with holographic trophies from conquered worlds. At its center sat Veilthar himself, flanked by his elite guards. His golden armor gleamed under the chamber's dim light, and his reptilian eyes gleamed with contempt as the humans burst into the room. "You dare defile my throne?" Veilthar hissed, rising to his full, imposing height. "You are but insects." But the humans had come prepared. The ensuing battle was ferocious, a clash of raw power versus relentless determination. The elite Tyrak guards fell one by one to precise, coordinated strikes. Veilthar, overconfident in his physical superiority, engaged the team directly, his massive frame dominating the room. But the humans fought with desperation, using agility and sheer will to outmaneuver him. In a final, desperate push, they brought the king to his knees. A tranquilizer, specifically engineered from Earth's toxins, rendered him unconscious. Veilthar, the invincible ruler of the Tyrak Dominion, was defeated. The public display. Veilthar was transported back to Earth in shackles, his imposing figure now a broken shadow of its former self. Humanity wasted no time turning his capture into a spectacle. Upon arrival, the king was paraded through the rebuilt streets of Earth's capital, his once golden armor tarnished and his chains rattling with each step. Crowds lined the streets, their cheers echoing through the city as they watched the alien conqueror humbled. The event was broadcast live across the galaxy, showing a defeated Veilthar drag past banners, declaring Earth's defiance. The imagery was deliberate. Humanity, standing tall against tyranny, proving they would not be subjugated. The king's humiliation sent shockwaves through the Tyrak Dominion. His capture was not just a military defeat, but a symbolic dismantling of the fear he had built his empire upon. Across the galaxy, enslaved species saw the broadcast and began to rebel. Veilthar's downfall marked the beginning of the Dominion's collapse, and the rise of humanity as a power that would not be underestimated again. The aftermath of Defiance. The broadcast of King Veilthar's defeat reverberated across the galaxy like a thunderclap. Species from every corner of the known universe watched, stunned, as the once mighty ruler of the Tyrak Dominion was dragged to the streets of Earth's capital, stripped of his majesty. The images, humanity standing defiant, and the king reduced to a broken figure, spread like wildfire, impossible to suppress even in the Tyrak-controlled territories. For millennia, the Tyrak Dominion had ruled through fear, their overwhelming power crushing any thoughts of resistance. But humanity's audacious victory shattered that image. Across the Dominion's enslaved worlds, whispers of rebellion turned into open defiance. Entire planets, emboldened by humanity's example, rose up against their Tyrak overlords. Insurgent groups launched coordinated strikes on Tyrak supply lines, military outposts, and administrative hubs. The Dominion, already reeling from the king's capture, struggled to maintain control. The Tyrak Empire falters. Within the Dominion itself, chaos took hold. Without the king's iron-fisted rule, the Empire's unity began to unravel. Ambitious warlords and governors, sensing an opportunity to seize power, turned on one another. What had once been an unstoppable galactic juggernaut fractured into competing factions, each vying for dominance. Humanity's actions had inadvertently destabilized the largest empire in the galaxy. The Tyrak Dominion's once unchallenged supremacy was no more, and the power vacuum left in its wake reshaped intergalactic politics. Humanity's new status. In the aftermath, the galaxy's perception of humanity underwent a dramatic shift. Once dismissed as an insignificant, primitive species from the galactic fringe, humans were now regarded as a force to be reckoned with. Their resourcefulness, adaptability, and ruthless determination in the face of extinction earned them both respect and fear. Diplomatic overtures flooded Earth. Some species, eager to avoid the same fate as the Tyrak, sought alliances with humanity, offering technology, resources, and information. Others, wary of humanity's rise, kept their distance but quietly began preparing for the possibility of future conflict. For humanity, this newfound attention was both an opportunity and a challenge. They had fought for survival, and now they had to navigate the complexities of galactic politics. But one thing was clear: humanity would never again be underestimated. Closing scene. The story ends with a powerful address from Earth's leadership. Standing before a united Earth government, the speaker's words echoed across a planet forever changed. We were given an ultimatum: submit or perish. We chose neither. Against impossible odds, we stood as one, not just to defend our planet, but to prove that humanity will never bow to oppression. Today, the galaxy knows what it means to face humanity. We are resilient, resourceful, and unyielding. This is not the end of our fight. It is only the beginning. Together, we will carve our place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as a species that will never be ruled. The galaxy watches us now. Let them see our strength. The camera pans out to reveal Earth, its cities rebuilding, its people united, as the stars beyond hold both new dangers and endless possibilities.